everyone, a very, very warm welcome to today's YouTube live. And you know what? Aha. Yes, I think we are live as well. So a warm welcome to everyone who is joining me live in today's live stream. Today is a very important topic that I'm going to cover for you. And the reason I'm covering this is we come across on a regular basis. We come across so many people with high levels of inflammation that we thought as an Avitai team that we need to cover this because inflammation can lead to different kinds of diseases, and some can be quite debilitating diseases like cardiovascular diseases, heart attack, stroke, Alzheimer's, cancer, and lots of that. So why don't we talk a little bit about inflammation and how to remove inflammation from our body? Yeah. So with that, thank you so much for joining on time today. And who am I? Before we get started, a little bit about myself. I am Ruma. I am an internationally certified health and fitness coach. I'm a certified trainer, nutritionist, women's fitness specialist, and specialist in exercise therapy from International Sports and Sciences Academy USA and National Academy of Sports Medicines USA. And currently I'm undergoing another specialization on sleep and stress recovery from PN Nutrition. I was awarded by the Times of India, Economic Times, and recognized by Government of India for my work in the area of health and fitness. I'm the head coach and the founder of Navitai. Navitai is a company which signifies new life in a combination of Sanskrit and Latin. And we serve more than 4,000 people month on month and help them overcome diseases and lead a healthy, fit, and a fulfilling life. So that is what we do. And we are very proud of the work we do. And it gives us a lot of pleasure inside when we see so many people coming out of diseases, hormonal imbalances, and leading a healthy and fit life, becoming happier in their life, and able to take care of responsibilities at home, in office, becoming more youthful, energetic, graceful day on day. It gives us a great pleasure to service people and help them see results in life. Okay, so with that, let's get started with inflammation. Now, what is inflammation? Inflammation is a body's is a natural defense mechanism of a body. So whenever something goes wrong, inflammatory response kicks in because our body is trying to protect us. It is a defense mechanism of our body. So in situations like injury or infections, the inflammation goes up because it is trying to recover us, and it is also trying to build healthier cells. Okay, so that is inflammation. Now, inflammation are of two kinds. One is an acute inflammation, which comes up suddenly to give us the protection, to defend us against the infections, build our body, repair our tissues, repair our cells. And then when it has been able to fight off the infection, then the inflammation goes down. This is called acute inflammation, which stays there only for a short period of time and helps to protect us. Another one is chronic low-grade inflammation, which is persistently present in our body. Now, so is inflammation bad? Well, inflammation is not bad. Inflammation is, when it is acute inflammation, it is good because it is helping us protect the body, helping to protect our body and protect us. And however, when it is chronic, when it is there persistently and it never goes away, that becomes dangerous, and that can lead to a host of different diseases in our body. And our focus is not to reduce the acute inflammation. Our focus is to reduce the chronic inflammation. So that is called persistent low-grade inflammation, is known as chronic inflammation. And now let me explain to you the relationship between inflammation and diseases. Now, both of them feed into each other. If there is inflammation, there will be disease. And if there are certain diseases in our body, we will have inflammation in our body also. How do I identify inflammation? There are certain inflammatory markers that inflammatory markers are there through which we can find out whether we have inflammation or not. And today I'm going to cover that as well for you. Now, once I cover today's session will be hardly for 15-20 minutes. I will give you some step-by-step things that you can do to come out of inflammation, and also how you can find whether you have inflammation or not. And at the end, I'll take a lot of your questions. If you are struggling with certain kind of diseases, hormonal imbalances, I'm here to answer your questions today. Okay, so let me finish this content and you can post any question that you want on health, fitness, consistency, motivation, no matter what comes to your mind which is stopping you from having a healthy and a fit life. You can post it to me and I would love to answer that for you. Now moving on then, the relationship between inflammation and disease, they are like, you can call them like brother sister. One feeds into the other, the another feeds into the other, both of them get into a vicious cycle. So whenever the inflammatory markers are high, whenever the inflammation is high in our body, the chronic inflammation, okay, whenever that is high, it leads to certain diseases. It leads to diseases like cardiovascular diseases. It destroys the walls of the blood vessels, and it can lead to heart attack. It can lead to stroke. It can chronic inflammation can lead to cancer as well. It changes the DNA pattern, and it signals there are cancerous cells in our body. Everybody has cancerous cells. Now, our DNA activates them based upon the environment that we have. And when there is an inflammatory environment in our body, the DNA activates the growth of these cancerous cells in our body. So inflammation can lead to cancer as well. Inflammation can lead to cognitive decline. Alzheimer's disease is due to chronic inflammation in the body. Am I missing anything? Type 2 diabetes. It is an inflammatory disease. Because of high levels of inflammation in our body, it leads to type 2 disease. And what is the inflammation? I'll now come to the when we have, so inflammation is causing diseases. Let's find out what kind of diseases are now causing inflammation. So both feed into each other. If we have inflammation, there will be diseases, and if there are diseases, there will be inflammation in our body. So you see how both of them feed into each other. If we have, say, infection in our body, any kind of infection, it will raise our inflammatory marker in the body. It will create a environment of inflammation in our body. Like infections, whenever we pick up infections, at that time, if you go and check your inflammatory markers, they will be higher. If we have, say, obesity, high levels of fat, high levels of fat in the body, not body weight. That is why we do not focus on body weight. We focus only on fat, because fat cells release inflammatory cytokines in our body. Forget the name, it just releases harmful chemicals in the body, and that creates an inflammatory environment in our body, which leads to increase in the inflammatory marker, which leads to creating more diseases like insulin resistance in our body as well. Insulin resistance is caused by diabetes. Obesity. So type 2 diabetes that happens due to obesity. And obesity releases inflammatory marker. When the body has more inflammation, it creates disease. So you see how they feed into each other. Gut dysbiosis. If we have imbalance of gut microbiota in our intestine, then that can also result in inflammation in our body. What else can result in inflammation? Let me see. Liver diseases. Okay. If we have some liver disease, then that can also increase the inflammatory markers in our body. Okay, so see, so what I really wanted to explain to you and elaborate on was diseases and inflammation feed into each other, making it a vicious cycle. So then what do we do in order to come out of that? Before I can do anything, first I need to know whether I have inflammation in my body or not, right? So if we have disease, so one thing, very fundamental rule of thumb, if there is a disease in the body, there will be inflammation, period. If you're going through any injury or pain, then also the inflammatory markers increase. So if there is a disease, if there is discomfort in our body, that means there is inflammation in our body. And there are certain blood markers also through which we can find out more, whether there is inflammation or not. Few of them are a C-reactive protein, CRP. Erythrocyte sedimentation rate, ESR, and cytokines. So these are the three primary ones, blood markers, which can tell whether our body has inflammation or not. So, and this is a great time, beginning of the year, get your blood work done. In our community, we have completed our blood work last weekend itself. We started the year with doing our blood work, finding out whether we have any problems or not. Well, many people came out. In fact, I'm happy to share with you, and people are happy in our community that everybody's blood marker has improved over the past many years through their association with us. So, it gives me a great pleasure to share that with you. But nonetheless, please get your blood work done. Get it when you start your new year, start with the blood work. Now, it may also happen, I have seen many different kinds of people. Somebody will say, I have not been a good girl or a good boy the last month of December. I don't want to do my tests right now. Let me become a good girl and a good boy in the month of January, and then I'll get my tests done. If you are in that zone, if you're someone who thinks like that, please do. No matter what it takes to become healthy and fit, please do that. Your family deserves a healthier and a happier version of you. So whatever it takes for you to become healthy before you take your blood test, if you're okay with that, do that. Usually people say, for example, my husband, we do our blood work, and he comes and says, Ruma, everything is normal only. Why did I unnecessarily go and do my blood test? And then I tell him, would you have been happy if the parameters were bad? Were you expecting that? By spending money, you want to see some wrong parameters. There are people like that also, but jokes aside, get your blood work done. At least that tells us where we are. And, even if I find something wrong, even if you, God forbid, you find something wrong, we are here to help you. Yeah, at least you know that you need to take action on your health. And oftentimes we are unaware of what is happening inside of your body till we do our blood test. Many people who join us for the first time, when they join us for the first time, we have them go through a blood test. And that is when they discover the diseases that they have. They did not know before they did the blood test. So, awareness is very important. So if you have not done it, please, please, please get it done. All right. So now with that, I'll move on to how you can reduce the inflammation in our body. Let me see how many steps I have for you. I've kept it very simple so that you can follow it. Yes. 5 steps through which you can reduce the inflammation in your body. Number 1, please write this down, is start on an anti-inflammatory diet. And what does that mean? An anti-inflammatory diet? Anti-inflammatory diet has few characteristics. Number 1, fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are highly anti-inflammatory in nature, and it can reduce the inflammation in your body. Plenty of fruits, plenty of vegetables. But just with one word of caution, if you have HbA1c, which is above 7, then avoid fruits as well. Okay, just have vegetables. The number 2 is include a lot of healthy fats in your food. And what is healthy fats? Healthy fats come from nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, chia seed, flax seed, watermelon seed, pumpkin seed, all the seeds in the world, and nuts are highly anti-inflammatory in nature. Stay away from dry fruits. Seeds are great. Dry fruits have concentrated sugar in it and can, if you already have some disease, hormonal imbalances, PCOS, thyroid, approaching menopause, any of these cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, then the dry fruits can change the balance in your inflammatory marker. The next one is whole grains. Okay, so whole grains include ragi, rava, jawar, bajra, millets, all kinds of millets, kodo millet, foxtail millet, name it, barnyard millet, sorghum. All of these are good grains and you can have them. You know what? Back in the olden times, our ancestors used to have a lot of millets, which we have forgotten because rice is so easy, right? Rice is so easy. Most of us, a lot of people consume rice, especially in the coastal areas, South India, East India. I'm a Bengali settled in South India. So you see, rice used to be a huge part of our life. And we have forgotten the usage of grains. Just recently, earlier last year, I remember our chief minister, he conducted a millet show, because people have lost the way our prior generations ate. We have started eating things which are very easy, and we have started doing things which are very easy. For example, we don't, we take taxi to the nearest place. We don't walk. We don't walk to the bus stand. We don't walk to our, or take a train to our office. We are sitting and working on laptop. We don't have to go to the field to work. So our life has become easy, and our food also has become easy, and as a result of which the rate of inflammation in our generation has raised very high. My microphone, yeah, the rate of inflammation has also increased. Okay, so yes, so we have to start having better grains, better quality of grains. Next one is spices. Some of the spices at your home are actually great anti-inflammatory items. For example, turmeric, cinnamon, these are very good. They have very good anti-inflammatory properties. Probiotics, curd, kimchi, kaffir, pickles, homemade pickles, not the outside pickles. They are high in salt and preservatives. So have homemade pickles. They are great as probiotics, and they help to establish a good microbiota as well. And green tea. Okay, these are highly anti-inflammatory in nature. The next one, so this is the food. Now, which are inflammatory food? Sugar, food high in sugar, food high in salt. Both of them are highly inflammatory for our body. Processed food that we buy from the stores, processed and packaged. I say this very often. Processed and packaged food you can keep outside for years together, and even then an insect will not eat that, but we eat it. So you see, even insects have better choices, make better choices of food than us. They are very highly inflammatory in nature. Please stay away from them. They have preservatives in them, and it causes damage. Okay, so this is about food. And yes, of course, all the junk food, the pizzas, the burgers, and outside food primarily. We do not, the kind of oils they cook food in, the temperatures that they cook the food in, the trans fat, the saturated fat they use in cooking the food to make it more tastier. These make it highly inflammatory in nature, and our body is not able to process that. And when we eat these kind of food for the longest period of time, it creates a an inflammatory environment in our body, which is a great breeding place for all the diseases. Okay, now, did I say that heart diseases, cancer, cognitive abilities, Alzheimer's are highly preventable? We control those diseases. And in fact, just recently, not recently, there has been a lot of work in the field of epigenetics. What is epigenetics? Epigenetics is beyond genetics. And a lot of researchers have come out in the field of genetics which says that we are not determined by our genes. Our diseases are not determined by our genes. Oftentimes people say, genes pe to hai, hona hi hai. Parents had heart attack, I'll also have heart attack. Parents have had blood pressure, I'll also have diabetes, I'll also have. Let me share something with you. In the field of epigenetics, what they say is that genes, when some of the researches that happened was the genes reside in the nucleus of the cell. When they remove the nucleus, if the gene is the one that is controlling our life, then when they remove the nucleus from the cell should have died, but the cell survived. And they also saw that when the same cell was put in 3 different environments, the cell behavior changed. So which means that when we change our environment, and what is environment? The inner environment that we create, the blood that is running through our vessels, the food that we eat that goes into our bloodstream, that creates the environment for the cell. When we change the environment, we can change the genetic expression. The genetic coding does not change. Genetic coding remains the same, but the expression changes. Isn't that amazing? Which means that we are not victims of our genes, we control our genes. And when we start having anti-inflammatory food, that is one way of controlling our genes. And the second way of controlling the inflammation inside of our body and our diseases is what? Exercise. Exercising, my favorite topic. I can talk on it for the entire day. Exercise reduces CRP levels in our body. The C-reactive protein reduces the inflammatory marker. Okay, so what kind of exercise? Any moderate intensity exercise, like for 30 to 40 minutes every single day, will reduce your inflammatory marker. So, and what comes under these? Aerobic exercises, cycling, jogging, swimming, strength exercises as well, they come under this category. Moderate intensity. Look, I said moderate intensity. So what does not come under moderate intensity? Leisure walk in the park. Yeah, it does not come under moderate intensity. It comes under low intensity. Should you not do that? Of course, you should do that. Go for a leisure walk. I go for a walk with my husband every morning. You know, that is our date time. We talk to each other because rest of the day we are so busy that we don't get time to talk to each other. So morning time is the time when we both go for a walk. We get our steps and we get to connect with each other too. But is that enough? No, that is not. That is for our mental well-being, relationship building, and all of that. Exercise is different. Why is that different? Because just a simple movement, doing like this, many people do like this, I see people do like this in the park. Is this exercise? No, this is not, because it does not challenge our heart. Whatever you do not challenge does not grow. If you wish to grow something, you have to challenge it. So if the exercise is not little bit challenging, it doesn't have to be difficult, it has to be little bit challenging. It should not be very easy either, right? That is when we grow. And hence the exercise intensity has to gradually increase. When you started walking for the first time, it was difficult for you. Now it has become easy for you. So whatever is easy is not giving you much benefit, especially in reducing your inflammatory markers. So if you were walking, try doing swimming instead, or try walking a little faster instead, try jogging a little bit instead. So when you increase the challenge a little bit by just 10%, that gives you the best benefit. And every 6 weeks, try to upgrade your exercises, because our body gets used to the exercises in 6 weeks. Body adapts to that challenge, and at that time you have to give the body a little extra challenge. Okay, the next one is, so point number 1 was an anti-inflammatory diet, and point number 2 was exercises. Now, exercises are only anti-inflammatory in nature, and hence we do not call it out separately saying anti-inflammatory. Like we say anti-inflammatory diet, no, we do not say anti-inflammatory exercise, because exercises inherently are only anti-inflammatory in nature. Number 3, stress management and sleep. Okay, now whenever we are not sleeping, it increases our stress, and when we are highly stressed out, it impacts our sleep. So stress and sleep are kind of related to each other, and when we are stressed out, we release another inflammatory hormone. Another inflammatory hormone gets released in our body, which is cortisol, and cortisol creates a inflammatory response in the body, which can lead to multiple different kinds of diseases. So stress management is very important, and this is something that we focus on a lot in our programs. Stress management and sleep is one of the other pillars. Other than nutrition, exercise, stress and sleep are third and the fourth pillar in our program as well. So sleep 7 to 8 hours every day. Go to bed before 11 o'clock, and try to try to improve the quality of your sleep. There are multiple and different ways in which you can improve the quality of your sleep: by meditating right before going to bed, mindfulness, journaling your thoughts, journaling how the day went, planning for the next day. All of this can help you sleep better. And there is another YouTube video which you will find in our video section, which talks about how, there are 3 or 4 tips that I've shared, very potent tips that my community members follow, and they sleep very well. And if you follow that, you will start seeing that your sleep quality will improve within 7 days. Okay, they are very, very potent, simple and yet very potent formula. So you can check in the video section. I'm not going into any much detail into that because I had already covered it. So you can check it under the video section and you will find those tips. Okay, the next one is lose the fat from your body. Maintain your body fat percentage. If you are a woman before menopause, who have not yet attained menopause, 25% of body fat you should maintain. Anything beyond that is highly harmful for your body. Why? Because fat cells release inflammatory cytokines in our body, or dangerous chemicals in our body, bad chemicals in our body, that creates different kind of diseases as well. Okay, so it's not the weight that we are worried about. We do not focus on weight at all. The thing that we focus on is the body fat percentage, because see, our weight comprises of the weight of water, weight of muscle, weight of skeleton, and weight is not just, and then the weight of the fat as well, weight of organs. So what do we want to, which one is the dangerous one here? The fat is the dangerous one. Everything else we want to preserve, we want to get rid of fat. But till the time you know what is your body fat percentage, how will you take action? Now I can give you some, and men, you can hold it anywhere between 18 to 20%. That is a safe zone for you to hold your body fat percentage. For women, 25%. If you are before menopause, post menopause you can take it to 20% as well. The reason why I'm saying that is we need a little bit of fat cells in our body. Fat cells also have the female hormone called estrogen, and if we reduce too much of our body fat percentage, no, we will not get our periods on time. So till the time our periods stop, we need to maintain a certain level of fat percentage in our body. Okay, so please do that. And if you want to know what is your body fat percentage, I'm giving you a body fat composition monitor link right below this, and you can check your body fat percentage. So that was your fourth step to reduce inflammation in your body. Number 5 is improve your gut health. Okay, and gut health, when you gut, the gut, I'll probably have a different session on gut health, but gut, if you can maintain, if we can maintain a great gut health, we can maintain great health also. But all of these are connected, weight, gut health, sleep, emotions, stress, all of these are kind of connected. And food, what can you eat to improve your gut health? So let us talk about improving your gut health a little bit. So the food that you can include are probiotics, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, pickles, that will help you in improving your gut health. So please drink plenty of water, sleep well, and have good emotions, because our emotions and sleep contribute to the good microbiota in our intestine, which helps us, not just helps us in digestion, but also helps to maintain very good health as well as mood. So something called gut-brain axis, and has a lot of work which is, and a lot of work which is going on in the area of vagus nerve, which I'll cover in a separate session altogether. Okay, so with that, these are the 5 steps through which you can reduce the inflammation in your body. And if you're someone who wishes to join a community of fit, healthy people, you can do so by clicking on the link below. I'm conducting a free masterclass to help you understand step by step how you can overcome your hormonal imbalances, and you can overcome your diseases as well. And if you go through that free webinar, and if you want, you can, at the end of the webinar, you can join our community as well, a community of people who are healthy, fit, strong. We are all middle-aged, going through almost the same problems, but every single day we are reversing our diseases, becoming more energetic and youthful every day. Our blood markers are only improving, our fitness levels are improving, our health is improving, our skin tone is improving, our hair is improving, and we are getting a fit, tight, and a toned body every single day. And if you're someone who aspires for that, I will share the link below to join the free masterclass, and you can take a decision to join our community from there. Okay, so with that, I've come to the end of today's session, and if you have any questions, I'd love to take that now. Yeah, you can tell me your questions in the comment box. I'm just getting into the comment section to find out. All right. All right. So I see a few questions from Jyotsna. We take cinnamon and cinnamon. Hi, Jyotsna. Take cinnamon, turmeric, and spices achar. Okay. Jyotsna, if you're still having inflammation, it means that you will need to follow the other steps as well. Okay. So it's not just one thing, it is a combination of multiple things. Are you sleeping well? Are you managing your stress levels better? What is the condition? Um, uh, is your gut health good? Is your hormone health good? So all of that needs to be taken into perspective. Okay. So it is not just one thing, but a combination of multiple things, Jyotsna. My heart goes out to you, and I hope through today's session, you will be able to get some direction in reducing your inflammation. And if you want, then you can join our next free webinar. And if you join our community, we will work with you. We are a community of very enthusiastic people. So not just me, the entire community. You will see how people are overcoming their problems. Okay. All right. The next one is, yes, like I said, how to reduce inflammation. Rachna is asking, does yoga come under moderate exercise? Now, Rachna, this is not just Rachna, for everybody. Rachna, a great question. Any exercise. So we have a way to identify whether the exercise is a moderate intensity exercise or not, whether that exercise is helping us or not. Okay, so how do we do that? There is a formula. First of all, you'll have to find out your resting heart rate. Resting heart rate, if you're wearing a device, you can find out through your device resting heart rate, or you can sit, if you know how to measure your pulse, just measure your pulse for 1 full minute. Okay, once you do that, then we have a formula: 220 minus your age, 220 minus your age minus your resting heart rate, multiply it by 0.8, you will get one number, and in this number add your resting heart rate again. Okay, so you get the formula: 220 minus age minus your resting heart rate, multiply that by 0.8, you will get a number, and then add the resting heart rate back again. You will get a number. And while doing yoga, if your heart rate goes to that level, it indicates that you are doing moderate intensity exercises. Oftentimes, what we notice, people do very light yoga, very light yoga. There are certain yoga postures that requires a lot of, lot of work, which is good yoga, which is, I shouldn't say good or bad. There is no word for that. Whatever movement you do is great, but just see to it that your heart rate when doing that exercise goes to this number, which is called the target heart rate. Then it accounts as an exercise. Otherwise, it is just a movement. So the difference between movement is, this is a movement, while if you jog, walk, run, that pumps up your heart rate a little bit. That is called an exercise. Okay, yeah, hope that helps, Rachna. The next one is, at the age of 60, what is the best exercise? Jyotsna ji, whatever your body can take is the best exercise. Whatever you do and you do not feel, you do not have discomfort, that is the best exercise for you. But another thing about exercises, it is not related to age. Exercise is not related to age. Okay. I know people who are 60 plus in our community, they have grandchildren, and the kind of exercises they do, even 25-year-old people do not do those kind of exercises. Why? Because of their fitness level. So age is not a criteria for the exercise. Fitness is the criteria for the exercise. Now, if you are a highly fit woman, then you can do anything. However, if your fitness levels are low, and you will be able to assess, right? So according to your fitness levels, you should do the right kind of exercise. Every exercise should be a bit challenging, a little bit challenging, not difficult, a little bit challenging, that helps you grow. Rachna is asking, how can we join you? Rachna, what I will do is I will share right after the YouTube session is over. I will share the link in the video below. We do not take people in just like that. Go to the free masterclass, learn about us, what we do, what our philosophies are, what our principles are, because we have some we have some principles. We do not promote fad diets. We do not promote short-term results. 2 दिन में आपका 10 kg वजन घटा दूंगी, ऐसा नहीं है. For us, everything is long-term health, mindfulness, happiness, peace of mind, calmness, better sleep. So we focus a lot on health. So please come first join our free webinar, Rachna ji. And then if you think that you align with our values and this is something that you would like to have in your life, then please do join us. We would love to work with you. Yeah. Okay, the next one is from Mamta ji. Does running while menopause cause inflammation? Absolutely not. Mamta, if you are running, please continue to do that. Okay. Now, just be careful that just be careful about few things. Number one is if you have low bone density because of menopause, you need to take care of that because when you're running, it creates an impact in your joints. And with low bone density, that can impact you. Okay. Do not worry about the inflammation. If you are running after the age of 50, my love and my heart goes out to you. I do not come across women after the age of 50 who go for running and these kind of exercises. So please, by all means, go for it. Just take care of your joints and use the right, I'm sure you're using the right kind of, support, the shock absorption, shoes with good shoes with good shock absorption. I hope you're using the right kind of shoes. And another thing is, please continue to monitor your heart rate when you are running. It should not cross the 90% of your maximal heart rate. Okay, so just follow that and you are good, Mamta. Please continue to run. Yeah. And oh yes, Mamta, since you said that you run, we are conducting, I do not know which location you are from, on 19th of January, we are conducting a run in Lalbagh, which is in Bangalore. And we are also identifying one location in Mumbai where all our community members will join at one place and we will go for a run. And in Bangalore, we have Bangalore, the location is Lalbagh. So if you want, please join us. You will meet a lot of healthy and fit people, like-minded people during that run. Lalbagh, 19th of January at 6 a.m. Okay? Yeah, we'd love to meet you. Radha is asking, I have allergies if I have a lot of food. How to get the inflammatory diet done? Okay, so Radha ji, thank you so much for this question. What I'll do as a gift for people who joined this live, I'll give you a link for the anti-inflammatory food list that people in our community follow. And then in our community, we give a lot of personalized attention also, where we identify food that is not working for them, remove it from that. But to start with, Radha, you can have this anti-inflammatory food list. I'll post it along with the link to our free webinar. I will also post the anti-inflammatory food list. Okay. Allergies to all roots, citrus, foods. I experience body ache and bloating, palpitation on eating them. All right, Radha, I think, okay. Achha, Radha has one question. I have attended your amazing free workshop. Achha, aapne attend kiya? Are you part of my community? If you were part of my community by now, all of these problems would have gone. But anyway, so coming back again is, if you have allergies, when gut, okay, let me go a little bit into gut issues. Okay, gut is not a singular thing. It has multiple dimensions. Something called the gut-brain axis (GBA), and it connects the brain and the gut. This is the central nervous system, and in our stomach is the enteric nervous system, and both of these are connected, and both of these are sending signals back and forth. Iska matlab kya hai? Matlab is just food does not control our gut health. Our gut health is controlled by our emotions, our thoughts, our stress levels, our past experiences, and these past experiences starts to build when we are in our mother's womb. What the mother was going through at that time, what your was your mother in a stressful condition at that time? Because those thoughts, because the gut and the brain is connected, right? Those thoughts get transferred over to the child. And when you are going through the birthing canal of your mom, if you were a normal delivery child versus a child of cesarean section, normal delivery children have more healthier gut microbiota when compared to cesarean section. So your gut blueprint started when you were in your mother's home, and then you were born, okay, and you came to this world. The experiences around you, in your school, at your home, how you were treated after your marriage, what was your relationship with your children, do you have a supportive home environment, all of these, our mind is taking these perceptions, right, from the world around us. Do I feel loved? Do I feel thankful? Do I feel grateful? Do I have hurt? What kind of emotions I have, that goes and affects our gut health also. Let me also share, something that you may have seen very commonly. If you remember, during exams, certain children have, very, very intelligent kids, but they will have a sudden loose motion and they have to continue using the bathroom. I had a friend like that. She was super intelligent. She was the topper in the class. She's a well-known doctor now in Calcutta, in West Bengal. I remember her. She used to be very well prepared, but before the exam, she will start running to the bathroom. Why? Because of her mental condition, because she associated a lot of stress with exam, and that affected your gut. So you see how our emotions manage control our gut. So what I wanted to give, I gave this long explanation just to say, for those people who have high inflammation in their body, it is not just your food, it is our emotions as well that is creating our gut blueprint. Okay, so a lot of things have to be taken into consideration. And if you're in our community, you will get better support. We can understand what your situation is and we can guide you accordingly. um, Rachna Bedi is asking how to take care of adulterated food effects. I know, because you're not sure what you're eating in the commercial food. Absolutely, Rachna. Even if you're eating organic label food, we do not know how organic they are. No, absolutely. That is a problem. Okay, so that is definitely a problem. However, what go with trusted brands, okay, and check their philosophy. And if you know how to read the food labels, oftentimes they have to declare the food labels. If they are not, the ingredient list has to be declared, and see to it that they are at least they have FSSAI approval. That means that there is some level of trust. So go with the trusted brands. Oftentimes I have also seen that there is Akshay Kalpa. Okay, Akshay Kalpa is an organization where they take you inside the place where they milk the cows. So you can see what is going on as well. So if you want to have that level of trust, then there are certain organizations that do that. Now, if somebody is opening up their entire functionality, that means that they can be trusted, they are opening themselves up, they don't have anything to hide. So I make my decisions based upon that. Hope that helps. Yeah, but I understand what you're saying totally. Mamta, you're in Pune. Okay, we may have a location in Mumbai though. So but anyway, theek hai Mamta, next time. Rachna is saying, how many times you eat in a restaurant, what you choose to eat now. um, how many times? Well, it all depends. Okay, why does that depend? Is, say you are a perfectly normal healthy woman, you have absolutely no problem, then you can choose to eat in a restaurant 1 to 2 times in a week. But if you have some health conditions and you have high levels of inflammation, I will say try to have as much home cooked food that you trust and you rely on. I'll give you one example of myself. Okay, I'm very close to menopause. I'm just expecting it to happen one day, one day, one day. Next week, the next month, I'll not get my periods. But anyway, there was a time about 6 months back, I had heavy, heavy, heavy bleeding. And I bled for almost, the bleeding continued for almost 10, 15 days, 10, 12 days. That time when I realized that my perimenopause is taken over and, I have these difficult symptoms, I totally stopped sugar. I take sugar occasionally, once in a while, because I had this condition 10 years back, 30, when I was 37, 38. Now I'm 49. When I was 37, 38, I had hypothyroidism, I had diabetes, uterine fibroids during that. And from that to now, I have reversed all my diseases. So once in a while, we follow, in our community, we follow 80-20 rule, 80% good food, 20%, um, you know, indulgences. If you are in a perfectly normal, healthy condition, to not, and we follow this so that we do not take our health out of control. Okay. So 20% indulgences are fine. So in that indulgence, I would have sugar food also. But when this happened, this incident happened, I totally stopped sugar. I totally stopped alcohol. Totally, totally, totally. And today again, I'm back fit and healthy. And I'm not going to touch sugar and alcohol till the time I attain my menopause, till the time I get to that level. So you get what I'm saying, right? Depending upon the health condition that you are in, you may choose to have certain, indulgences. Mamta, Pune, Pune, Pune. Mamta is saying taking parting in Tata, Mumbai. Oh, wonderful, Mamta. Wonderful to hear that. Rachna is saying, I feel bloated whenever I travel internationally or very tired. Please suggest. Well, eat well, sleep well, and drink plenty of water whenever you're traveling internationally. Yeah. And try to see that, if on the journey, depending on where you are going and how much is the time difference, try to adapt to that time difference as quickly as you can. That will reduce your symptoms and overall manage a very, very healthy lifestyle. I have seen that, when I was in my corporate job, I had to travel quite frequently. Our headquarters were in Boston, and I had to travel very frequently to our headquarters. And what I realized was that I had very less travel problems compared to other people who did not exercise and lead a healthy life. I used to not have too much of jet lag. The day I reached, the same day I would, within the next day, it would be all good. I wouldn't put on weight. I wouldn't have bloating. I'll sleep well. So people who exercise regularly, take care of their health, they also do good during the travel. So hope this helps, Rachna. Follow a very healthy lifestyle. You will never have travel related issues. Radha is saying, I got my answer. That's wonderful. So it's emotional. All right, Radha, welcome to our program. Lovely to have you and look forward to working with you, Radha. How to get rid of allergic coughing? That is from Renu Jain. Renu, depends upon the reason for the allergy. If it is an allergic reaction, no, first, the breathing pathways need to be clear. So, try to stay away from pollen and do not eat anything that sparks your allergic reaction. And second is, build a very strong lung, because lungs is the respiratory pathways are all through the lungs. And if you can keep your lung very strong, then oftentimes these respiratory allergic reactions will come out. And how to build a strong lung? Running, swimming, jogging, aerobic exercises, cardiovascular exercises will help you in building strong lungs. Walking help karega thoda, but after 6 weeks of walking is not an exercise. Then you will have to increase your challenge. So look for exercise where you have to breathe a little heavily. Okay. It should not be very difficult that you feel demotivated, but at the same time, it should be challenging enough for you to fall in love with that exercise. I hope that helps. So try to build very strong lungs. Okay. That will bring down your allergic outburst. Okay. Hopefully that helps. Do I have any other? Yes, dairy can cause inflammation. If you are someone who has been identified as being lactose intolerant, any dairy food, please avoid that. And we have a very step-by-step structured program through which we help people come out of the dietary intolerances as well. Again, dietary intolerances, if you remember how I explained, has started from the very past, an emotional um, from the time we were in our mother's womb. So a lot of things have to be cleared up, and we bring in a lot of different kinds of modalities to help people out of these dietary intolerances. Not just science, the Western science, but we bring in a lot of emotional healing techniques from the Eastern world to help. So we merge both our Western principles. I am educated in the Western side, with the Western principles of science and numbers and technology, and we also bring in the eastern side of it, the chakra healing, breathing, meditation, to help us overcome the deep hurt, post-traumatic disorders, PST, post yeah, the traumatic disorders that people go through. So we bring in a lot of those healing methodologies to help people come out of those hurtful, hurtful past experiences, which gives them, through which they're able to overcome a lot of their diseases, not just diseases, but their gut health. Gut health also gets solved. Okay, so I hope, yes. Yeah, awesome, great. All right, so with that, I think any other questions? It was lovely interacting with all of you today. Thank you for these amazing questions that you had. Loved answering you. And in a while, check back the link right below the live video, and you will get the link to join our free masterclass. I will share with you the link to find out your body fat percentage. And number 3, I will also share with you the anti-inflammatory food list right below this video. Okay, so check back in exactly 1 minute, and you will get all your resources. Okay, thank you so much for joining in. I will see you soon.